There are two things we don't know from our friends at FanDuel just yet. That's what is Auburn's win total for 2025, and also who is the most likely college football head coach to be fired first in the 2025 season. And remember, at several points in time last year, the answer was Billy Napier. Well, there's Billy Napier off an 8-win season. We'll see what he's got. He does have DJ Lagway. It's a pretty good place to start. But I don't think Auburn is starting in as similarly strong of a place when it comes to the quarterback position. Jackson Arnold has got all the potential in the world. He wasn't a 5-star quarterback recruit by accident. He even showed in a college setting that potential. But last year was a disaster. And you know what? Oklahoma changed offensive coordinators for a reason. It was not working with either quarterback. Hawkins, yeah, he didn't last as long as a starter in there because it just wasn't great. So Jackson Arnold's looking for a fresh start. But the reason I don't love this marriage for Hugh Freeze and Auburn is that Hugh Freeze is facing serious pressure here. Like there is legitimate pressure on this guy. He's going into his 3rd year. You can't say he hasn't been given time. You can't say he doesn't have the resources. And guess what? He's got another thing working against him. Not just the question mark at quarterback. He's got a schedule that doesn't play an impact home game until Georgia comes to town on October 11th. October 11th is how long those Auburn fans have to wait before they get to go to Jordan-Hare Stadium and see a real opponent against a team that is going to push them. I mean, they've never lost to a group of 5 team at home before. That would never take place. But their 2 non-conference opponents are Ball State and South Alabama. Yeah, okay. Neither one of those are problems. So they start the season at Baylor in Waco. You know what I love about Auburn, perhaps more than anything else with regards to their football program, because there aren't that many programs that do this, quite frankly, and it makes them a little unique in this sense. They schedule the most random but sicko behavior I want to watch college football games that you can find. I could have phrased that a little better, but you get the idea. They had a home and home with Cal. They lost one at home. They almost lost on the road. Just great competitive games. One time Cal was in the ACC when they played them. One time they were in the Pac-12. That's quality stuff. This year they go to Baylor with Sawyer Robertson back at quarterback. The Bears were a surprise team last year. Got hot at the end of the season. Ended up with an 8-win regular season. Oh boy, that's a statement opportunity there for Dave Aranda and company. Speaking of coaches who we all thought were going to get fired, Dave Aranda was near the top of that list. Well, what do you know? He's still around. He's just there, hanging out, coaching football and winning games. At least that's what he did last year. So then Auburn has the 2 easy home games, and I have no problem with that early in the season. But then they go at Oklahoma and at Texas A&M to begin SEC conference play. Hugh Freeze doesn't have time for this. This is just not a schedule that is conducive to what he needs. If I were an Auburn fan, I am not an alum and whatnot, but if I were an Auburn fan with what Hugh Freeze did going from 6-6 to 5-7, he's posted 2 losing seasons since he lost his bowl game in the first year. I would expect at least 7 wins. I don't think 6-6 should be good enough. You've got to prove that you can win more games than you lose in a 12-game schedule. If you can't do that with the way Auburn's recruited over the last couple of cycles, then Hugh Freeze just isn't the guy that we thought he might have been. He's been successful as a head coach at multiple stops before. Doesn't mean it's going to work out at Auburn. It still could. The opportunity's there. But Auburn has to look like Auburn, and they just haven't for far too long. So the whole patience game, well, give him time. No, 3 years is time. Three seasons is time. 2 seasons, even with the transfer portal, I'm not crazy about that short amount of time. Depends on the program, depends on the situation. But for Hugh Freeze and Auburn, I think you need to have 7 wins to feel good about a willingness to pay his buyout, which could be the saving grace. Because Brian Harsin is, I believe, still owed money by the Tigers because he didn't last very long. Brian Harsin. He didn't get the same amount of leeway or latitude that Hugh Freeze is getting here. And guess what? That's a lot of money. How much does Auburn have? Hey, that's for the Auburn boosters to decide. But what I have noticed is that when a school really wants to get rid of a coach, no matter how expensive it seems, it just happens. You find a way. You come up with the money. You raise some extra funds. The AD goes to the donors and says, look, we know we've asked a lot of you, but this is important. This is fundamental. This is the most important thing that we have done yet today. So all that good stuff. But at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M, I think Oklahoma's an improved team. I think they went into Auburn and won last year. Auburn should have won the football game, but they did not. They found a way to lose. Maybe they go in to Norman and find a way to win. John Mateer is the new quarterback for the Sooners. He has not played against the SEC before. I think he was the best quarterback available in the transfer portal, but compared to past transfer portal cycles, this one was light for quarterbacks. Like Mateer, mega talent, but played at a Mountain West adjacent schedule in his first season starting, and he was really good. I mean, he was phenomenally good. But anyway, that's how conference play begins. At Texas A&M, Marcel Reed back for another year. Then you host Georgia. They'll be a home underdog. Then it lightens up. This is where Auburn's got to capitalize. Host Missouri, at Arkansas, host Kentucky, at Vandy, host Mercer, leading into the Iron Bowl. In those 5 games, because of who they're playing and where they're playing them, Auburn has the ability to go 4-1. Now, this is, of course, all contingent upon Jackson Arnold figuring it out, clicking with Hugh Freeze, realizing his potential, making Cam Coleman into a Jeremiah Smith level star for the Auburn Tigers. That is what has to happen. Because offensively is where Auburn struggled this past year, and that's got to concern you if you're a Tigers fan. It should. You've got an offensive quarterback guru, whisperer, head coach, and that's where you were lacking last year? He couldn't make a veteran in Peyton Thorne better than he was? None of the young guys were ready? All right, I don't put that on him. But why wasn't Peyton Thorne better? The guy that we saw, the team that we saw from Auburn in the second half of the season, where was that in the first half? Why wasn't it there? That's what you've got to be wondering if you're an Auburn fan. So the Iron Bowl against Alabama could be a game that if it's the 6th win of the year, Hugh Freeze keeps his job. If they only have 5 wins, and frankly, I think that'd be kind of surprising. If they only have 5 wins going into the Iron Bowl, but they beat Alabama in Kalen DeBoer's second season, yeah, that saves Hugh Freeze's job. But with this schedule, 7 wins minimum should be the expectation. Unlike Georgia Tech, I don't have conference championship aspirations for the program here. I'm just saying you've got to be able to navigate that slate, and particularly the second half, to find 7-8 wins. Heck, I don't think 9 is impossible. It's just unfortunate for them that they get off to a slow start. And Auburn fans, you'll get 2 chances, of course, to see the team in September, but those are not going to be the games that everybody's looking forward to. You're going to have to wait. Is there an upset on here over Georgia or Alabama? Hey, they're both at home. It's Jordan Hare. Nick Saban will tell you, place is cursed. Appreciate everyone listening. I will see you next time. And until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.